Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Today we have brought up and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. President Trump told Putin to stop after deadly Russian strikes on Kiev. President Trump asked Supreme Court to let military transgender ban begin. Judge stops Trump administration from cutting school funds over DEI programs. Judge blocked Trump's citizenship rule in voter registration order. Governor Hochul launches New York State Climate Adaptation and Resilience Plan. Mayor Adams and NYPD destroy over 3,500 seized illegal firearms to combat gun violence. Pedro Pascal slams J.K. Rowling's anti-trans views as disgusting and heinous. Prince Harry calls for action to protect children from harmful social media influence. China denies ongoing negotiations with the Trump administration on tariffs. Russia returns body of Ukrainian journalist Victoria Roshchena after death in custody. Soccer player Jackson Rodriguez's wife and child kidnapped in Ecuador, home invasion. And Jamie Vardy to leave Leicester City after 13 years but not retiring. You were listening to Headlines, now news in detail. President Trump said he was not happy after Russia launched deadly missile and drone strikes on Kiev, killing at least 8 people and injuring over 70. He called the attack very bad timing during peace talks and told Russian President Vladimir Putin on social media, "Vladimir, stop." The strikes, which happened overnight, were likely the deadliest on Ukraine's capital since July. Peace negotiations between Russia and Ukraine had already stalled before the attack. On his Truth Social account, Trump posted, "Not necessary and very bad timing. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done." Although Trump earlier said he could stop the war before taking office, his administration has not yet secured a peace deal. He has recently shown frustration with both Ukrainian President Zelensky and Putin. Trump criticized Zelensky for rejecting the idea of giving up Crimea, calling it a reason for ongoing violence. Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed that the U.S. gave both sides a clear proposal and warned it may walk away. Trump still believes both sides want peace. He said Russia's willingness to stop the war is already a pretty big concession. President Trump has asked the Supreme Court to allow his new transgender military ban to take effect while legal challenges continue. He made this request after lower courts blocked the ban nationwide. Earlier in 2025, Trump signed an executive order stopping transgender people from serving in the military. He said the policy supports troop readiness, discipline, and honesty. The Defense Department followed with new rules in February, which aimed to remove transgender troops starting March 26 unless they had waivers. A federal judge in Washington blocked the order in March. Judge Benjamin Settle said the administration gave no clear proof that transgender troops harm the military. He ruled that the ban may violate equal protection rights and could bring serious harm to affected service members. Trump's legal team argued the policy is based on medical concerns like gender dysphoria and should be allowed during court review. The Justice Department said the military should not be forced to follow a policy it sees as harmful to national security. The Supreme Court has given the opposing side until May 1st to respond. If the court agrees with Trump, the ban may soon begin. A federal judge in New Hampshire has stopped the Trump administration from cutting federal money to public schools that support certain diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. Judge Lantia McCafferty ruled earlier this week that the administration and Education Secretary Linda McMahon went beyond their powers. She said removing funds would hurt many schools and break executive limits. This ruling does not cover the whole country. It only applies to public schools connected with the National Education Association and the Center for Black Educator Development. The NEA is the largest teachers' union in the U.S. with over 3 million members. The case began after the Trump administration asked all the states to reject DEI efforts that it claimed broke the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In February 2025, the Education Department warned schools to follow civil rights laws or risk losing Title I funds. Judge McCafferty said these actions may cause schools to censor race-related lessons. She also said the Trump administration's view of DEI is not the true or common meaning. A federal judge blocked key parts of President Trump's executive order that aimed to make voter registration harder without proof of U.S. citizenship. U.S. District Judge Colin Kohler curtly ruled that Trump's order tried to take over powers given to Congress and the states. The judge stopped two parts of the order, one requiring federal forms to ask for citizenship proof and another telling agencies not to help people register unless they check their citizenship. But she allowed a part that lets the Department of Homeland Security share citizenship data with the states. Kohler curtly said the blocked parts went against Congress's intent and broke rules set by the National Voter Registration Act and the Help America Vote Act. The ruling came after advocacy groups and democratic organizations filed a lawsuit. Another lawsuit from 19 states' Democratic attorneys general is still pending. Trump's order also warned states about ballot deadlines, but the part will be handled in state-led cases. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Governor Kathy Hochul launched the New York State Adaptation and Resilience Plan to help communities prepare for extreme weather. This plan will align efforts from various state agencies to protect New Yorkers from the devastating effects of storms which cause over $1 billion in damages annually. Over the next year, the initiative will guide local partners and foster collaboration across the state to build resilience. The plan includes projects like shoreline restoration and infrastructure relocation to reduce flood risks. State agencies such as the Department of Environmental Conservation and the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority will lead this effort. In summer 2025, the state will hold webinars and engagement events to involve local governments and stakeholders. Governor Hochul also announced a $1 billion Sustainable Future program as part of the state's climate agenda to generate jobs, reduce energy costs, and combat pollution, aiming for an emissions-free economy by 2050. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Stiche, and community leaders celebrated the destruction of 3,575 illegal firearms. These weapons were a part of the over 21,400 firearms seized during the Adams administration. The guns were destroyed at Rewold, Westbury, New York, where they were turned into scrap metal to prevent further violence. We eliminate over 3,500 guns that no longer pose a threat to New Yorkers, said Mayor Adams. We will continue pushing for more safety and fewer guns on our streets. Since Mayor Adams took office, homicides and shootings have significantly decreased. By the first quarter of 2025, homicides dropped by 34.4% and shootings fell by 23.1%. The destruction is part of a broader effort to reduce gun violence and protect communities through strategic policing and community programs. Now it's time for global updates. Pedro Pascal criticized J.K. Rowling over her anti-trans views, calling her behavior disgusting and heinous. The actor, known for his role in The Last of Us, responded to a video that highlighted Rowling's approval of the UK Supreme Court ruling against trans women. Pascal described her views as awful and disgusting, referring to her stance as heinous loser behavior. Rowling, 59 years old, has faced backlash for her views, which led to her being labeled a TERF, trans exclusionary radical feminist. She celebrated the UK Supreme Court's ruling on April 16, which defined women under equality law as biologically female, sparking concerns of potential discrimination against trans people. In contrast, Pascal, a strong trans rights supporter, wore a Support the Dolls shirt to the London premiere of Thunderbolts on April 22nd. The shirt supporting trans women helped raise awareness for trans rights. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, emphasized the need for stronger protection against the harm social media can cause children. Speaking at the unveiling of a memorial in New York City, Harry said enough is not being done to address the risks children face online. He urged parents to keep their kids away from social media to safeguard them. The memorial, open for 24 hours, displayed 50 smartphones, each showing a child's image who died due to social media-related issues. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, have supported families who believe social media contributed to the deaths of their children. They have also backed calls for tech companies to provide parents with information from their children's phones. Harry shared his relief that his children, Archie and Lilibet, aged 5 and 3, are too young for social media. He stressed the need for change to prevent further tragedies, calling it unacceptable that tech companies conceal information about children's deaths linked to online activities. We'll be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. China denied US President Donald Trump's claim that active negotiations were underway between the two countries regarding tariffs. Beijing stated that the US should revoke its unilateral tariffs against China. This response came after Trump suggested that the final tariff rates on Chinese goods would decrease significantly, with US import duties on Chinese products reaching as high as 145%. China rejected any suggestions of progress in tariff negotiations, calling them as baseless as trying to catch the wind. The trade war between the two nations escalated as both raised tariffs multiple times in retaliation. Trump had mentioned earlier in the week that negotiations with China were active, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent clarified that no formal talks were taking place. China insisted that any discussions must be based on mutual respect and equal treatment, with all tariffs lifted. Despite the ongoing economic measures, Trump said he would approach Chinese President Xi Jinping in a very nice manner, aiming for future cooperation. Russia has returned the body of Ukrainian journalist Victoria Roshina, who was captured in the Russian-occupied part of Ukraine and later died in detention. Roshina, 27 years old, disappeared during a reporting trip to the Zaporizhia region in August 2023. Her father received a letter from Russia's Defense Ministry in April 2024, revealing she was held in Russian custody. Roshina's body was returned to Ukraine at the end of February 2025 as part of an exchange. Ukrainian lawmaker Yaroslav Yushchenko confirmed her death, noting that DNA tests were required due to the condition of the body. Investigations showed that Roshina was arrested in Energodar and later transferred to various prisons, including one in Taganrog. She had stopped eating and showed signs of torture. Roshina worked as a freelancer for several independent outlets and was known for her courageous reporting on the Russia-Ukraine war. Her death has sparked calls for accountability and an investigation into her treatment while in custody. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Ecuadorian soccer player Jackson Rodriguez's wife and 5-year-old child were kidnapped in Guayaquil, police reported. The men who broke into their home were searching for Rodriguez, but the 26-year-old Emelec defender hid under a bed during the invasion. The incident occurred around 3 a.m. when the kidnappers forced their way into the house. Rodriguez told police that the perpetrators took his wife and child after asking if he was home. He saw the kidnappers leave in a gray pickup truck. This kidnapping occurred amid a state of emergency declared by the government to combat organized crime. Ecuador is facing increased violence and crime, with over 2,300 violent deaths reported in the first 3 months of the year, many of which occurred in Guayaquil, a city plagued by drug trafficking. Rodriguez's case is not the first targeting an athlete. In December, soccer player Pedro Perlaza was kidnapped and later rescued. Jamie Vardy announced he will leave Leicester City at the end of the season after 13 years, with memories to last a lifetime. The 38-year-old striker, regarded as Leicester's greatest player, played a key role in their Premier League win in 2016 and the FA Cup triumph in 2021. Vardy, who signed a 1-year extension last summer, struggled this season as Leicester faced relegation. He apologized to fans after the confirmation of their drop to the Championship with 5 games remaining, calling his season a total embarrassment. Vardy's journey from non-league Fleetwood to Premier League stardom is legendary, having scored 198 goals in 496 appearances for Leicester. He also became the oldest player to win the Premier League Golden Boot in 2020. Vardy is not retiring and is reportedly considering offers from Major League Soccer in the US. "I want to keep playing and scoring goals," Vardy said, expressing his desire for more achievements. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 18,631.09. The NYSE Composite is increased by 175.95 points or 0.95%. Tokyo stock close price is 34,868.63. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 648.03 points or 1.89%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,296.36. The Shanghai index is decreased by 3.40 points or 0.10%. Hong Kong stock close price is 22,072.62. The Hang Seng index is increased by 510.30 points or 2.37%. Bombay stock close price is 80,116.49. The Sensex index is increased by 520.90 points or 0.65%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. President Trump told Putin to stop after deadly Russian strikes on Kiev. President Trump asked Supreme Court to let military transgender ban begin. Judge stops Trump administration from cutting school funds over DEI programs. Judge blocked Trump's citizenship rule in voter registration order. Governor Hochul launches New York State Climate Adaptation and Resilience Plan. Mayor Adams and NYPD destroy over 3,500 seized illegal firearms to combat gun violence. Pedro Pascal slams J.K. Rowling's anti-trans views as disgusting and heinous. Prince Harry calls for action to protect children from harmful social media influence. China denies ongoing negotiations with the Trump administration on tariffs. Russia returns body of Ukrainian journalist Victoria Roshchena after death in custody. Soccer player Jackson Rodriguez's wife and child kidnapped in Ecuador, home invasion. And Jamie Vardy to leave Leicester City after 13 years but not retiring. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all smart TVs and Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.